What I'm going to do is make a video in response to a comment I saw on one of the GoPro sites, and I believe it was Eye of Mine, which seems to be a pretty excellent site to review the GoPro cameras. I haven't purchased anything from them myself, but they do a really excellent review of the GoPro and all the accessories that are available as far as the mounts go. So you want to check that site out. What it was a comment somebody made about their windshield mount, or I guess a variable mount. It's a suction cup mount. Man, this thing is nice. A little pricey, but it's really nice. If you're purchasing a GoPro camera, I suggest that you buy all the accessories and the little attachments, anything you can possibly get that will make the functionality of your camera so much better. What the question was the suction cup mount was, can you fit other cameras onto this mount? And you can see it has a 3-prong portion here. It takes the acorn nut on one side, and seems to be GoPro's specific bolt that goes in. I'm assuming this symmetric bolt because I couldn't quite find an American Standard bolt to fit this. 1/4 inch is too large, and what I did find, and I'll explain this later, was this bolt. It's a stainless steel coarse thread bolt, screw, I should say screw. To go on about this though, yes, you can convert this suction cup mount to fit other cameras, but this is the tripod adapter from GoPro. It's a worthwhile piece of equipment to get if you plan on using your camera on the tripod. This mounts simply on the bottom of the GoPro camera, and then it takes 1/4 inch by 20 thread per inch standard tripod adaptation. So that really works nice. Point of what I'm saying here is, if you take this tripod adapter, and it's approximately $10 from Helmet Cam Central, has a threaded insert into pretty heavy duty plastic. What you want to do is take this in on your mesh in with the joint, and take that tripod adapter and just put it on here upside down of what it would be. This part was intended to go on the bottom of the GoPro camera, but you can convert this. What I did was I took the whole thing to the hardware store, found some nuts and bolts that fit. You'll notice that this pinhead screw fits in the recessed area there for the nut. And the whole thing is, you don't want to damage that area for that nut. I guess you have to hang on to these with your life, value these like your life, because these nuts are not an individually purchased piece. You can find American Standard nuts that will fit in here, but it's going to be a much smaller thread pattern or bolt. Now, what I did is I just simply take a wing nut, and you can really crank this down, and it recesses the screw inside, and it doesn't appear to cause any damage. That makes a very solid mount there. This suction cup, when it's placed on windshield, interior or exterior, it really holds. Now, what I did to make this work is I took a piece of all thread, 1/4 by 20, to facilitate putting it in a vise to hold it for cutting. I screwed 2 1/4 by 20 nuts on. These nuts, I don't care if I damage those, but I didn't want to damage my piece of all thread. Clamp this in a vise. I took a Dremel tool and I cut this off to length. You may use a hacksaw if you wish. Cut this off. I left the nuts on. I simply adjusted their distance on the piece of all thread, mounted it vertically in a clamp, and I cut slots in. What you want to end up with is a piece that looks like this. A slot in each end. I don't know if you can see that. Screwed into your tripod adapter, which is now mounted upside down in your GoPro mount. Screw that in. You don't need to snug it up. Take any 1/4x20 standard camera. This happens to be a Kodak Easy Share. And the JVC camera I'm filming this with would work. Snug your camera down. Now, this mount, you can vary on how you want to mount it, but there would be a windshield mount in the glass on the interior of a vehicle. You got to really watch you don't over tighten this. You kind of have to play with it. If you need to make a spacer out of a washer, you don't want to strip out the bottom of your camera, and you don't want to break this $9 piece of plastic mount. That's going to suck. But this mount, you can mount it in various different ways. Now, let me explain why I put the slots on each end of this screw. The point being is, now that I've screwed a camera onto it, there's a possibility that this piece of all thread might lodge in the bottom of the camera or in your tripod adapter. And being that that's not what that was intended for, you just take a screwdriver. You can either snug that up if you wish to tighten it, or if it would happen to lodge in the bottom of your camera or your tripod adapter, just simply take a screwdriver and gently unscrew it. That's it on how to convert your GoPro windshield mount for other cameras. That's the best way I see it doing it. If anybody else got any other ideas, hey, have at it. I don't see any reason to make a whole different adapter mount to go on the camera whenever this is commercially available.